The Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
Again, look at this move by Steph Curry. Wow. How fun is he?
Successful early on Curry, but Curry's taking advantage of this matchup. The left-handed finger roll, electrifying this crowd. The MVP of the NBA, Wardell Stephen Curry II.
And the dream season is now complete. The Golden State Warriors are the 2015 NBA champions.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
The first unanimous MVP in NBA history, Stephen Curry.
Trying to spin, strip to the ball by
no.
Curry.
Oh, no!
Pass to Durant. The Warriors are NBA champions again.
The Golden State Warriors back-to-back titles.
Steph, three, there it is! NBA three-point history, 2,974 threes and counting.
The Dubs dynasty is still very much alive.
The Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett and Jim. LeBron James.
The Golden State Warriors before Stephen Curry and the LA Clippers were in the same class. Like, they were the butt of every NBA joke. They were a laughingstock.
The Warriors have made the playoffs just once in their last 18 years, which is incredible. It's the longest current NBA playoff draw.
Well, the Golden State Warriors were horrible for a long period of time.
Shot clock at 6, and Peter is rejected.
Vince Carter, look out. Oh, he threw the body and flipped it in.
Been a fan for longer than I care to admit, man. More than 3 decades. There was a period of time where I used to call them the $10 baller seats. You could get into any game for $10, and then not only could you get in, but because there was nobody in the fucking arena, you could sneak down, and as long as you kept it cool, you didn't go too big with your celebrations, you could get to within 3-4 rows of the floor and watch a full half of NBA basketball for 10 beats.
I think the Warriors were mostly in a dark place before Steph had arrived. They were essentially the Charlotte Hornets of the NBA back then.
And this is a team that for decades was just, a joke.
The success of any team in professional sports, team sport, is who do you draft, who do you trade for, who do you get in free agency? It's about the players. You got to get the right players.
Well, what you see right here is Stephen Curry, one of the premier shooters in all of the country.
Never touched the rim. Curry with the three. Stephen Curry lights it up. LeBron's impressed with what he sees.
I do remember very vividly, and I think a lot of people did remember very vividly, Steph at Davidson and what he did in that March Madness run.
I, like everyone else, watched his run at Davidson. I also, like everyone else, thought, oh man, this dude is really small. Like, he's almost my height. He's like only a couple inches taller than me. He might be even skinnier than I am. How is this dude going to be an NBA player, right?
In terms of speculation, there's no argument that Steph Curry's the best shooter available in this draft. And the question is, can he make the transition to the point guard spot? Is he going to be strong enough against NBA defenders over the course of an 82-game schedule?
I kind of heard the same stuff outside going into the NBA. I'm too small, not athletic enough, can't play defense, not strong enough.
The summer of 2009. A moment in time that would be a crossroad in the destiny of an individual and a franchise. Having made a name for himself over his historic college career, Stephen Curry was looking to emerge from the shadow of his NBA father, hungry for the opportunity to prove he belonged on the game's biggest stage. On the West Coast, the Golden State Warriors were desperate for relevance. The passionate fan base had been left searching for any reason for optimism, starved from excitement due to a string of failed draft picks by the team's front office.
And the Warriors had this long run where even though they were bad every year, it just became a thing where you knew they were going to draft someone and you had no hope that it was going to work out because draft picks just never worked out for the Golden State Warriors.
Draft day used to be the only day we could look forward to. We weren't going to make the playoffs, and so our only shot at turning things around were whatever player it was that we actually landed on that day.
That draft process is wild. There's some new narrative every day. Yeah. There's some new guarantee on the draft board. There's some trade rumor. Every day it was something different. I mean, the NBA is such a small world. Steve Kerr was the GM of Phoenix at the time. And part of the conversation leading up to the draft was, I guess Golden State didn't think I was going to be around at 7, and whoever they drafted was going to be part of some trade to get Amari to Golden State. I talked to Mike D'Antoni, who was the coach of the Knicks at the time. They had Gallinari, who was the young prospect, and the whole conversation was we put you, Gallinari, David Lee was there. D'Antoni put you in all the right positions, be successful. I could be like Nash. I could be like Nash 2.0 when he was in Phoenix and all that type of stuff. So that was a conversation.
Let's do this. Knock him dead. Yes, sir. All right, I just officially got butterflies. I'm out of my element now. I don't know what to do with myself. This is crazy. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. I'll be all right though, right?
Yeah.
What's going down?
Worst that could happen is you end up in the NBA, right?
That's true. This is great. Great way to put it. It's kind of funny thinking back. I wanted to go to New York, and thought I was going to New York. I was in the draft in the green room, get to the 8th spot. New York could get me.
I'm about to practice walking up a couple times.
Blake goes 1, seemed to beat James Harden, Tyreek Evans, and then it's number 5, and Minnesota's got the 2 picks in a row. So I'm like, all right, just get through these 2. They got 2 picks in a row, and then it's guaranteed. I didn't really know. I talked to Golden State like that. It's gonna be number 8. So they went Rubio and Johnny Flynn. So I'm like, all right, this is it.
This is crazy. Golden State is on the clock with the number 7 pick. Who else is Golden State's point guard?
With the 7th pick in the 2009 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Stephen Curry from Davidson College.
The 6'3" junior guard out of Davidson, quite simply, is the best shooter in the draft.
When he first fell into our laps, nobody here, certainly not me, understood the basketball luck that we had just inherited.
He's going to have to improve his decision-making a little bit with the ball in his hands, and his shot selection has got to get a little bit better.
I think when the Warriors had drafted Steph, it was, this kid is really cool. He can score a lot, but is he going to make it in the NBA?
When you have close to 40 years of just utter mediocrity, you also had pessimism. So when Stephen Curry was drafted, it's not like the fan base had any clue what was coming. It wasn't like, the fan base saw Stephen Curry and saw some form of a messiah that was going to save this organization.
Definitely very excited to be here. It's a dream come true for me, just to be drafted in the NBA, be an NBA player, and have an opportunity to take my game to the next level. I definitely see Golden State as a great fit for the way I play.
While there was some excitement in the Bay surrounding the team's new rookie, questions remained about how Stephen Curry and current franchise centerpiece Monta Ellis would play together in the same backcourt.
In his early years, Monta Ellis was probably a little more popular, and people were asking more so how are they going to fit Steph in when Monta plays a similar position, only not as good of a shooter.
As the opening tip for the 2010 season approached, the questions in Golden State would only continue to grow, and the eyes of Oakland were locked in on the rookie from Davidson.
First NBA game. So excited to be here. It's like a dream come true for me, so I'm kind of nervous now, actually, walking up to the gym and everything, but hopefully we'll have a good game and get that first win, so I'm excited. That's all I can say right now.
I remember when he first checked in. I was lucky enough to be at that game, and I share season tickets with my wife and leaned over to her and said, hey, this could be a big deal,
Christmas morning for an NBA season. Oracle will be rocking Monta Ellis, the new leader, and Stephen Curry, the new phenom. They'll be in the backcourt together tonight. Here's the Beadron screen. Jumper right through.
Doesn't even need a screen. He can just take him off the dribble.
Curry wing jumper, good.
I knew Don Nelson and his style, and they told me, like, when I first got to camp, like, yo, you're gonna love this system because it's all about just playing fast. Everybody's gonna get a look. He wants you to score, be aggressive offensively, and they were in line.
Parker reached on it, reached again.
Curry put it in and draws the foul. Stephen Curry.
How far out was that, Coach? That was back in Charlotte, North Carolina there.
Curry gets Horford backing up. The ball slipped out of his hands. He made it anyway.
He feels it now.
Curry three. He got it. And here they come again.
I think with Steph, it was really hey, you've got to prove yourself to be in the NBA. But when he did, coming down to the second half of the season, the flashes were incredible.
Oh, Steph Curry! What a play!
You didn't get a sense of 4 titles great. You didn't get a sense of 2 MVP great. You didn't get a sense of unanimous MVP great. But you got a sense of what he might become. There'd be 1 or 2 moments every game or so where you'd almost have to double take, where you couldn't believe what it was. You couldn't wait to see the replay because what you actually saw live couldn't have actually happened.
Curry, but to dribble that ball and hit the 3. He thought about passing it, said, no, I'll dribble it instead. Steph Curry, all the way to the rim.
Look at this move. Wow. How fun is he?
He could shoot. He was a great shooter the moment he stepped in. I think people expected that. But I don't think myself, along with fans, along with really I would say even the coaching staff, expected him to be such a good ball handler and passer at that time of his career. It became pretty obvious that he's not just a JJ Redick coming off the screen. He's not just a Kyle Korver coming off the screen. He's going to be able to get his own shot. He's going to be able to get to the rim. He's going to be able to get other people's shots. And when that happened, it was, for me, that was the flash. I was like, oh, all right, well, maybe he's more like Steve Nash.
Finishing second in the running for Rookie of the Year, Stephen Curry had proven early on that he was capable of being a major contributor at the NBA level. Behind averaging 17 points and nearly 6 assists, Curry had quickly adapted to the Warriors' free-flowing offense in a way that highlighted his shot-making ability. Despite still adjusting to the speed of the pro game, Steph had managed to put up the most 30-point games by a rookie since LeBron James in 2003, while also setting the record for the most threes made by a rookie. However, despite the on-court success, it was his willingness to grow and desire to learn that would catch the attention of people around the organization. Curry's goal was never just to make a splash in his first season. He was determined to build a foundation for the future.
Where are you going to be in 10 years? What kind of player are you going to be?
10 years, I want to be, known as a true professional, a guy that played the game the right way. Hopefully still in the league and still effective in the league. There's not many people that last in double-digit years, so it starts now and building a foundation for later on down the road.
While Curry would continue his growth in year 2, starting all 74 games, it was clear that the team would need to make a decision about who would hold the reins of the franchise's future. The Steph and Monta Ellis experiment was fun, but capped the future potential of the team under a glass ceiling of 2 primary scoring guards. Following the NBA lockout in 2011, the Warriors were left with a choice of 2 directions moving forward, and it seemed that an unfortunate series of events could derail the career of a young Curry.
Barry Neal dribbled it off his leg.
Oh my goodness.
Steph
Curry hurt his ankle coming out of the pad. My word, he just got caught on his toe.
Uh-oh. We look across the court. And you don't want to see that.
Curry hurts foot again. He's had injury problems throughout his career.
He's had 2 surgeries on his right ankle, Curry.
And there is something that has plagued Steph his entire career. Twisted ankles. He's had surgery twice.
Every question I got was, how are your ankles? Are you going to be, that pseudo Grant Hill story, or you have an injury that kind of holds you back from reaching your full potential?
That thing was going to derail his career.
It was a very serious issue.
I was ready to let go of the rope.
I was concerned most about him, about his ankles, because of all those injuries and things he was having. And my God, to say he's going to ruin his career.
Didn't know if I was going to be, healthy enough to play night in, night out.
Part of the reason why it was serious is because Steph never really looked the part of this dominant, all-time great basketball player. And then on top of that, you see his ankles rolling. And that fed a lot into, I think, why a lot of people were not holding their breaths that Steph was going to turn into this incredibly amazing, Hall of Fame level player. The ankle thing, I think we all looked at that and thought, that's what's going to prevent Stephen Curry from being a great. That is the Warriors' curse applied to Stephen Curry.
This was a beaten dog franchise, man. Anytime something bad happened, we weren't surprised. We were waiting for it, and we just assumed that he would never get over it.
He's always injured, the rumors, everything. It's really tough. But again, he's a very competitive, determined kid. He wasn't going to let it stop him.
From what was told, from what was reported, he essentially spent an entire offseason fixing his hips because that was causing weak lower stability to his body.
But I'll push it even further and add it to the legacy of Steph. Again, it happens. None of us thought he was coming back. We didn't think that was going to go down at all. And another impossible thing he has done is shake off what looked to be a genetic problem. A thing that doctors were telling him this is going to happen consistently. And now, I don't know how long it's been, but I've stopped holding my breath when he goes down.
He took his ankle issues and turned that into fuel and motivation to be the player he is today. A lot of people, when it comes to injuries, it brings him down, and rightfully so. No judgment if it does. It's a part of the game, but Steph took it as, I'm going to beat this, and this is going to make me work even harder, and look what it resulted.
Once they told me I was their guy, I was at peace with it. I'm totally excited because it just means that one chapter of my life is done and I'm on to another season, no pun intended, and a season full of challenges, a season full of growth, and a season full of flat out excitement for me and my family.
With new head coach Mark Jackson in the process of changing the team's culture and having drafted a true shooting guard in Klay Thompson, the Warriors were set to embark on a new direction as a franchise. As the trade deadline approached in 2012, Golden State would make a decision that would change the trajectory of both the team and Curry's career forever.
We were in Sacramento. It's the lockout year, so it's right at the trade deadline. We get to the arena. I was on the first bus. Monta usually comes on the second bus. And we get in the locker room, and it's kind of a different energy. You know, around trade deadline, it's always like that, but this was different. It was like, it's a little quiet in here. Like, what's going on? And I'm getting tape, getting ready to play in the game, and you see across the ticker on the TV in the locker room, like, breaking news, NBA trade, Warriors trade, Monta Ellis, Epe Udoh, and somebody else for Andrew Bogut. And that's how we found out. We were all in the locker room, like, yo, what? What's going on? So Monta shows up. He just got off the phone with his agent. His agent just called him. And this is maybe an hour and a half before the game, 2 hours before the game. So then, you know, he's kind of like emotional, but, you know, kind of resolute, like, this is happening, like, forget y'all. Like, not the team, but forget the organization in terms of, like, he was the true ultimate Warrior. Like, he was a fan favorite, deservedly so. We Believe, the last one from the We Believe team.
How'd you find out? Read it on the TV. You didn't hear from the team? No. You saw it on the TV? Did that bother you at all? No, I ain't got no problem with it. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said.
It was a tough blow for, like, all of the nation. It wasn't really received well. So that's how it went down. Everybody kind of said their goodbyes to Monta, Epe, they left. And then Coach Jackson pulled me out the locker room. He's like, yo, I just had to let you know, like, they wanted you in the trade. But for whatever reason, like, and that's part of the document, that didn't go down like that. Because I kind of stepped into and said, I'm going to give you the keys. I felt like I really believe in you. We just got to get you healthy. And that's what the rest of the season going to be about. So crazy, crazy day. I'll never forget that moment.
Having signed Stephen to a 4-year, $44 million deal in the offseason, the Warriors had made it clear that they were committed to building around Curry moving forward. The pieces of a new core had begun to come together as Golden State drafted a Swiss Army knife prospect out of Michigan State by the name of Draymond Green.
So Mark Jackson brings defense, brings intensity to the Golden State Warriors.
Finally, with the keys to the franchise, Stephen Curry would make strides in 2013. He was fully healthy, surrounded by a team tailored to his strengths, and backed by a coach who believed in him. This was a new era of basketball in Oakland. This was the birth of the baby-faced assassin.
Here's Curry. Taylor working on him. Holds left it behind. Gets an open three. Yes! Uh-oh. Into the rebound. And 3. And 2. His 3. He's fouled. Oh, man! The wizardry of Steph Curry.
Steph has more game than his pops. And that's with all due respect to old school basketball and Dell. To me, Steph Curry has blossomed into a superstar. He has simply become the face of this franchise.
Curry with a steal and a foot race with Kid Gilchrist, and the reverse avoids the block. Oh my goodness.
We're so used to watching the people that are appointed superstars. I think LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Victor Wembanyama is coming in. I think it's pretty sweet to watch someone explode onto the scene that you had no idea was going to be a super mega star.
The Lakers, what a move by Curry. What a move!
He can boogie on anybody. He's not some spot-up shooter. He's got the handle to create space and shots for himself. He can take you off the dribble. He can dance on you.
Curry.
Oh. I mean, he had Tyler Hansbrough reaching for the ball and everything.
To his credit, he's kind of like I was never satisfied. I was trying to get better. Hell, I was the best free throw shooter in the league, and I changed my free throw style to get even better. And I was better at the end of my career than I was at the beginning. And in Steph's case, he wasn't satisfied with what he was doing. He went out, and as great a shooter as he was, he made himself an even greater shooter. He became better with his decision making, his shot selection. I mean, in his case, I mean, he takes shots that for most people are bad shots, but for him, they're not. I mean, it's crazy.
Curry, that's way too easy for him.
It was the first time in 2013, I think, that Warrior fans started allowing ourselves to believe we might finally have our modern day superstar. You know, I am too young to really have active memories of Rick Barry. And so in my life, we had various people. We had the Antoine Jamiesons of the world. We had people who could score. But it wasn't until 2013 and Steph's real ascendance where we started realizing we might have a Hall of Fame top 10 of all-time difference maker on our hands.
Score from everywhere. Curry from deep. There's the record. He stands alone as the best three-point shooter in a single season in NBA history.
He makes a couple. You better look out. That guy is hot.
Curry for three. Wow! Unbelievable! Making it rain in New York. One back the other way. Curry, why not? For three! Bingo! Good against Belt. For three. Got it! What a night for Steph Curry. His 11th three of the night.
In his first All-Star season, Steph would average 22.9 points per game, up nearly 5 points from his previous season. He had proven that he was capable of running the show as a point guard, dropping nearly 7 assists a night as he ran the floor with backcourt mate Klay Thompson. The duo had earned the nickname of the Splash Brothers, ushering in a new era of Golden State basketball centered around fast-paced offense and insane shots from distance.
Thompson steps into a long one and hits for three.
Woo, boy, he can shoot the ball.
The regular season had been a breakout year for Stephen Curry, but it was the 2013 playoffs that would see him take his place as the future of the game.
I had always heard about how amazing Oracle Arena was during the playoffs. The We Believe team was it 2007 when they made that run to beat Dallas. I'd heard like that this the crazy. It's already the craziest arena and it's loud in the regular season and all that, but the playoffs is just a different vibe. So we got into that series. We were 6 seeds, so we started in Denver, came back 1-1, and it's like we walked out and there was just haze around over the court. Fans like 75% full. 20 minutes before the tip off, they're chanting the Warriors. Got a nice aroma in the building. It was just amazing atmosphere. So you kind of get wrapped up in that.
The Warriors were the 6th seed. The Nuggets were the 3 seed. Ty Lawson was a sweet point guard for Denver back then. Andre Iguodala was on that team. Andre Miller was on that team. They had a really, really good squad, and Steph just took a torch and just burned it down.
Here's Curry right on cue. Splashes through a three to tie it at 15. The first field goal for Curry. 5 points on the night. Curry off the bounce. Can't stop Curry with a second three. Curry gets past him into the lane. Left-handed hook gets the bounce.
Right in front of Denver's bench, JaVale McGee's literally standing up. There's about 5 or 6 guys around him, and get the ball in the corner, and obviously you've been in that situation where you rise up and everybody just talking, trash behind you. And for some reason, I just got an out-of-body experience. And literally, as I let it go, it's like I never felt the shot feel better than that. I turned around and kind of looked at JaVale, and then just ran off, and it went in. And that was when I didn't even check to see if it went in. I just was waiting for the noise.
Curry, up fake, slides by, bucket.
So that's what's made them so good during the regular season. Allowed them Curry with a long three-point shot.
A lot of success early on. Curry, but Curry's taking advantage of this matchup. The left-handed finger roll. Curry electrifying this crowd. Curry with the steal. Steph Curry fires away.
thing I remember is that place going crazy and Warrior fans exchanging looks like, is this really happening? You know, is this, if we pinch ourselves, is this all gonna disappear?
Inside, scooping it home, Stephen Curry. It's tapped away by Thompson, picked up by Lawson. That's it. Golden State will advance. Golden State goes to the second round. The 6th seed is beaten the 3.
I think most people think that is like the defining moment of the season for the Warriors, the coming out party for the Warriors and Stephen Curry and all of them. But for me, it was that second round against the Spurs that really made me go, oh my God, this is, we have something real here.
Monta starting here, and a 3-point field goal by Curry. Curry defended now by Parker, and Bogut setting a big screen, knocking Parker down, but Curry hitting a 3. And here is Curry hitting another 3. Look at that Golden State bench. They can't believe it, and they've seen it.
For them to go in San Antonio and win not just a game, but a playoff game in there, for them to go into that series and push it, I believe, to 6 games, against a Spurs team that went to the NBA Finals that year, should have won the championship, wanted the next season. That's what opened my eyes.
Curry didn't even have control of the ball, picked it up and threw it in.
While Golden State had been sent home in the second round, there was no question that they had just put the entire NBA on notice. There was something special brewing on the West Coast, and behind their newly crowned star point guard, the Warriors would soon take their first step towards becoming the game's next dynasty.